Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Tapping Out in the Cheating Stories subreddit. The post is titled, "My wife has been caught cheating. TLDR, the wife and I are building a business together. We are almost done. I found out she is sleeping with a coworker. Let me start with some background. My wife and I are both 54, married 31 years. She is an RN at a hospital. I work for a home builder since I was 18. We have 2 children, both grown and out of the house in their 20s. We decided in our mid-40s to pursue my wife's dream of running a bed and breakfast. We have been looking on and off for years. We came across a piece of property of 5 acres and a home built in the 1870s. The original owners were large landowners in this area. They had an extensive agricultural business empire. Over the decades, fewer of the family wanted to stay in farming. Parcels of land were sold off. Our town is going through growing spurts as it is becoming quite touristy because of some, let's say, natural formations and beauty. The farmland along the main highways is being gobbled up. The house and land we purchased is away from the highways. Since we bought it, my wife and I are redoing the entire house. There has been neglect in some basic maintenance, and we want to restore the house to its prominence 150 years ago, along with making a living. My wife has been in charge of decorating rooms as I finish, along with paying the mortgage. I am renovating room by room, paying for all material and any professional help if needed. I am pretty handy, so most work is done by me. The last few years, the housing industry has gone through the roof. We would work 8 days a week if we could. I was pulling in big money until last year. The pandemic knocked us out of work for a while in 2020. Then the material shortages started. Of course, my wife was on the front lines for the last 18 months. Last year, she worked weeks at the hospital without days off. The medical staff stayed at the hospital. They had rooms several slept in together. To say the least, the staff got very close. They worked 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, starting in March last year into the fall, then again after Thanksgiving. My wife has always, after the kids were older, worked for others if they asked. She watched these young parents crying because they could not see their families. So on their off times, she would give up her time off and offer it to the staff that really needed it. There were others that did this too. The whole COVID experience changed her, watching people put on ventilators, the deaths, etc. She was not the same person. She was distant. Our sex life went to 0. I attributed it to either her experiences or her age. I tried talking about it but was told she just didn't feel it anymore. We still work closely on the house. We planned trips to an area in our state that had a large Amish population. The Amish here are known for their craftsmanship in woodworking and sewing. We bought several pieces of furniture for the bedrooms along with handmade quilts. This past weekend, we were planning on taking a 3-day trip to this area to buy dining room furniture. I also pay in trade with some wood that I get when I take down an old barn, which I do as a side gig. Barnwood is very much in demand. My boss calls me and tells me everyone is working the whole week as he was able to get wood and shingles for a house we have been sitting on waiting for supplies. I told the wife we could go on Saturday and Sunday. On Friday morning, she tells me she is still going with some workers because there is a fall festival going on too. I go to a local bar that night. One of her coworkers comes up to say hello. I ask if she was going on the trip. She knew nothing about it, so I texted the wife asking if she made it okay and asked who was all there with her. She texted back that this friend, her other close friend, and a friend called Stevie. I had heard this name the last few months. Until then, I always thought they were female. I asked her friend at the bar if she knew this Stevie. She said no, but there is a Steven that works with them. So the wife gets back Sunday afternoon. She has bags of tablecloths, napkins, kitchen towels, etc. She is showing me what she bought. In one bag, there was a smaller bag. She pulled it out, looked in it, and said, "Oh, not this bag. It's not for us." I let it go. Later, I looked in the bag. She had hidden it in a closet. It was decorations for a man cave for a college team I don't follow in sports, so it wasn't for me. I asked to talk with her. I asked again who all went. She gave the same 3 people. I just asked who Stevie was because we had not met. She told me a woman they work with. I pulled out the man cave stuff and told her I talked to her friend who was supposed to be away last weekend, but her plans blew up. Then I asked who Stevie was again. She started crying and told me who he was, and yes, they were by themselves. They had sex. They have been since last year during their hospital lockdown. So now she is living in one of the finished bedrooms. I have our bedroom. I will talk to a lawyer on Monday. I have no idea what to do about the house, the business, the marriage. To me, she was sorry she was caught, but not for the affair. I asked her if she would break it off with Stevie. She was not sure. User T. Turan said, sell the business, divide assets appropriately through mediation and lawyer. Definitely divorce, here is why. She is not sorry, seems to have no regret other than getting caught. Second, she is unsure whether she can or wants to stop the affair. In cases like this, don't put your life at the mercy of her uncertainty. Make that decision yourself. Lastly, for someone to do this after 31 years is absolutely immoral. Bad enough when it is early in marriage, but after building a life together. Be selfish, look out for yourself from here on out. User Competitive Rip said, sorry to hear this happen to you. Get yourself some therapy because it's going to be a bumpy road. Get divorce talks going and set yourself up for stability. I wish I could say something about the business, but that's beyond my expertise. It'll be hard, but you'll come out stronger than you were. You deserve better than her. I hope you find someone new once you have come out the other side. User The Loco said, do not talk to her about it again. Read up on the 180 and Grey Rock methods. If you can, throw her out. Tell her she can live with Stevie. The marriage is over. It ended the day she decided he was more important than you. Next time you talk, it should be bullet points as discussed with your lawyer. I know it is hard, but her attitude says that she is not willing to invest in the marriage anymore. She should have jumped at the option to break it off if she wanted the marriage to have any chance. Start separating things like finances, etc. Do not entertain thoughts on how to have a business yet because it will ruin you emotionally. Get into therapy for yourself. You have to understand that she has to recover this, not you. But this only matters if you are absolutely sure you want to reconcile. Nearly 2 weeks later, OP gave us an update. It's been a hectic couple of weeks. Along with my work and side gigs picking up, the wife and I were battling. I saw a lawyer. After I explained everything, he suggested we try to work it out before he gets involved. The house is still not a business and cannot be sold as such. We would have to sell it as a house, unfinished, which would lower the price. We have sunk well over $100,000 into the house plus the mortgage. The lawyer will have to consult with a real estate attorney and maybe one dealing with businesses, so their fees are going to be high. So I try to approach the wife to see if we could talk. I don't know if she is embarrassed being caught, but she has dug in her heels. She told me to leave the house. I told her I have no plans to do that. Then she countered with my giving up the master suite and me moving to one of the bedrooms. I again tell her I don't plan on it either. She then says she is off the next couple of days and will move all my stuff out and put it in the foyer for me to decide where I am going to stay. So I end the conversation. I went out where my supplies are stored and grabbed a new door lock with the push button keypad. I was going to install it on the bedroom doors once we had guests. We can change the combination after each guest. I installed it on the master suite door. The next day I went to work. When I came home after a day of angry messages for putting the lock on, she was livid. "How dare you lock me out of my bedroom?" was her war cry. After back and forth, I asked if we could please talk. She finally agreed. Later that evening, we sat down. I told her I was very hurt to find out about the affair and that I wish she would have told me she was not happy. She did not say anything, so I continued with that as far as I am concerned, the marriage is over. She just nodded her head. I then told her I have been to an attorney. This caught her by surprise by her look. I explained what the attorney said, that it would be best if we could come to some agreement on what to do. Our largest asset is the house, and to sell it, we would take a huge loss. She just smiled and said, "I can prove that I have paid the mortgage, so the house is mine." I shook my head no. My attorney explained the house is a marital asset. Both names are on the mortgage. I then pulled out a couple of binders. I have every receipt that I have spent filed by room on what has been spent. I started this just out of curiosity and just kept going as we finished rooms. I can prove I spent thousands of my money in refurbishing the house. She was caught off guard by the receipts. She has not been to an attorney. I proposed that we live peacefully together, finish the house. We can then set the B&B up. She could buy me out of the business at that time. She dug her heels in again. "No, I need to leave. If not, she has plans to move Steven in." This hurt like a bitch. I got up and got a glass of water to collect my thoughts. When I came back to the table, I told her if I see him in the house or on the property, I would start disassembling everything that has been done. Every nail and every screw I put in, I would take out. Every light and plumbing fixture would be taken down. I said I would not destroy them because I owned them. I would replace them with any old piece of salvage material I could find. I said, think about it. Consult with whoever is giving you dime store advice. Let me know. Yesterday, she came to me. We had not talked in several days. She asked if we could talk again. She had talked with our kids. I had called each and told them what's going on. Our daughter suggested to her that we stay in the house to completion, start the business as I suggested. Then maybe I could move out but still own 50%. Mom could run the business, bringing in an employee or two to help run the place, do yard work, give mom a day off. I told her I would think about it, but my stance on Steven will not change. So I have another appointment with the attorney. The big issue is we probably will not be in business until 2023. The outside needs much work along with landscaping. Plus, we need to come up with a room for one of us to live in. The room I'm in is part of the rooms to rent. User Insane said, "You are going at this the wrong way. Stevie most likely thinks he has hit the jackpot with her getting the house. They are going to set you up and then get you mad enough to make threats and then get a restraining order. Next step will be to wear you down till you give them the house for nothing. Turn the tables on lover boy. Tell your wife to ask Stevie to buy out your half and they can run the business. Tell your wife you just want to get on with your life. Put the pressure on Stevie to take the responsibility of your wife on his shoulders and let him be burdened with her love fantasy with him. Turn your wife onto Stevie where he puts up his money. Nothing kills a love affair more than putting your money where your mouth is." User Admirable Ad said, "This is where you cut your losses. This woman is vile. She has been using you to build her dream, serving Stevie's needs. Sell the house as it is and get out. She was planning your demise. What a wasted marriage. Report her to HR as well as Loverboy. How are two out-of-work people going to run a B&B without tech knowledge and an income? You have been over for her for so long. You tried. All she has is this utterly cool attitude that the house is hers and you must be out. Now it's time. Draw up divorce papers. Sell her and Stevie's dream and take what you get out of this loveless, abused, and used marriage and walk. 50-something is still young. Do not waste a moment. File. Do not leave the marital home. If she moves Stevie in, prevent him from entering. I would also sue him for breaking up your marital bond. Watch, 3 years down the line, after Stevie has pumped and dumped her, she will say she's sorry, but now she's really out to hurt you. Just continue with the divorce. You will land on your feet. She will lose everything." The next update didn't come for about another 4 months later. See my profile for the original post and first update. Sorry I have not updated. I am recovering from a stroke almost 4 months ago and am just now getting back to whole. My wife and I were discussing how we would split our assets. Our lawyer said it would be best if we came to some consensus. As we were talking, the stroke hit. I was sitting 1 second, then hit the floor. My wife is an RN. Thank God she saw something was wrong when she asked if I was all right. I hit the floor. She called police and told them I was having a stroke. I went to the hospital for a week, then to rehab. My wife had taken a leave to care for me when I got home. I don't think I would have recovered nearly as well without her. She went back to work in January when she felt I could manage somewhat by myself. Our kids stop over when she works her 12-hour shifts though. I don't know if she is still seeing Stevie because she spent 2 months by my side. However, she has taken a couple of 3-day holidays away, so I think that may still be going on. Right now, divorce talk has been pushed to the side. Thank you for those asking for updates and the many messages asking where I was. I am on the mend. I have some issues walking, so going back to work is out of the question. I may have to come up with something else. Then another 3 months later, we got OP's final update. I hope it's the last one. Sorry I haven't updated. I know many have asked. First, I want to say how much I appreciated all the support, especially from those on PM. There were multiple chats that showed real concern for me and let me use them as a sounding board. On to the update. I have filed for divorce. I was starting to waver. I think because of my health issue, I stopped seeing the whole issue. The STBX was very kind and nurturing to me in recovery. Once I was back on my feet, taking care of myself, I started realizing things. STBX took weekends away once or twice a month. The kids would visit to help out. I now realize she was going to Stevie's place or going away with him. The kids got clued in right away. My daughter has been all over STBX. Their relationship is now nil. That is a shame. My son disapproves but has not cut ties. We discussed divorce, dividing assets. It will be amicable. Neither of us can buy the other out. We listed the place with a business broker, I guess that's what to call him. He found a company to give us a great offer. So we will divorce and move when it is finalized in a month or 2. The sale will go through then. My health is not all the way back and probably never will be. I have a great boss who is working with me as I grow into this new role as a project manager for him. Thanks for all the support. User More Music Man said, your STPX will have a hard time moving forward. Her boyfriend will constantly be looking over his shoulder, waiting for her to start cheating on him. It's an inevitability with cheaters. While you recover, her nice little world with him will be falling down around her. Don't be surprised if in a year she wants you back. Be strong and tell her to f right off. User Horror Ad said, firstly, I hope you make a full recovery in time. It's unfortunate your relationship is ending the way it is. Reconciliation is impossible if your wife is still seeing Stevie. You did nothing wrong. This is all on her. Just do what's best for you. Unfortunately, I don't have any advice for you, but you do have my best wishes. I wish you peace, happiness, health, and a great future. User Professional Pilot said, her humanitarian efforts as an RN during COVID and to help you recover notwithstanding, she has somehow become a shit person. To burn down a 31-year marriage in her 50s for some BS artist named Stevie is soap opera level pathetic. I hope it all comes down around her ears. Seriously, she is the prototypical example of an adulterous traitor to her marriage and family, and now deserves neither. Glad your daughter has realized who her female bio parent really is. Your ex-cheater has sown the wind and will now reap the whirlwind. Well deserved, I might add. As for you, sir, hold your head high and execute your plan to be free of this cheating traitor with all due haste. There are many women her age or younger that are looking for a true man like yourself. I wish you nothing but the best, OP, and a full recovery from your stroke. Was it a TIA by any chance?